Your mind betrays you at 3 a.m. when the world is silent, but your thoughts are screaming. That random sound outside becomes a threat. That innocent conversation replays endlessly in your head. Your body tenses up for no reason anyone else can see. If this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with PTSD symptoms without even knowing it. Today, we're breaking down every single PTSD symptom that millions of people experience, but rarely talk about. By the end of this video, you'll understand why your brain works the way it does after trauma. And more importantly, you'll realize you're not broken, you're human. Symptom 1, intrusive memories and flashbacks. The first symptom hits without warning. One moment, you're living in the present. The next, you're transported back to the worst day of your life. Flashbacks aren't just memories. They're full-body experiences that make you feel like the trauma is happening all over again. Your brain doesn't distinguish between past and present during these episodes. The smell of cigarette smoke might take you back to that car accident. A raised voice could trigger memories of childhood abuse. These aren't just thoughts you can push away. They hijack your entire nervous system. What makes this worse is how unpredictable they are. You might go weeks feeling normal, then something completely random triggers a full flashback. This unpredictability creates a constant state of alertness because your brain never knows when the next wave will hit. Symptom 2, nightmares and sleep disturbances. Sleep becomes your enemy when you have PTSD. Nightmares aren't just bad dreams. They're nightly reminders of your trauma that leave you exhausted and afraid to close your eyes. These dreams often replay the traumatic event with disturbing accuracy, or they twist it into even more terrifying scenarios. You might dream about being chased, attacked, or losing people you love. The content varies, but the terror remains constant. Even when you don't have nightmares, sleep feels impossible. Your mind races with intrusive thoughts the moment your head hits the pillow. You check locks multiple times, scan your room for threats that don't exist, and lay awake analyzing every sound your house makes. Symptom 3, hypervigilance and constant alert mode. Your nervous system gets stuck in survival mode, scanning for danger that isn't there. This hypervigilance means you notice everything. The person walking behind you, that car that's been following the same route, the way someone looks at you across a room. This constant alertness is exhausting. Your body produces stress hormones around the clock, leaving you physically and mentally drained. You can't relax in crowded places. You always need to see the exits, and unexpected sounds make you jump. People might tell you to just calm down, but they don't understand that your brain has rewired itself to prioritize survival over comfort. Your hypervigilance isn't paranoia. It's your mind's attempt to protect you from experiencing trauma again. Symptom 4, avoidance behaviors. You start organizing your entire life around avoiding reminders of your trauma. This might mean taking different routes to work, avoiding certain movies or TV shows, or skipping social events that might trigger memories. Avoidance seems logical at first. Why put yourself through unnecessary pain? But over time, these behaviors shrink your world. You might avoid driving after a car accident, stop going to places that remind you of a lost loved one, or refuse to talk about what happened. The cruel irony is that avoidance often makes symptoms worse. By constantly running from reminders, you never learn that you can handle them. Your brain interprets avoidance as confirmation that these things are indeed dangerous. Symptom 5, emotional numbing and detachment. Sometimes the pain becomes so overwhelming that your mind shuts down emotionally. You stop feeling joy, excitement, or even love the way you used to. This emotional numbing isn't a choice. It's your brain's protective mechanism. You might feel disconnected from family and friends, like you're watching your life through glass. Happy moments feel muted, and you struggle to connect with people who seem to live in a different emotional reality than you do. This numbness can be more disturbing than intense emotions because it makes you feel like you've lost yourself. You remember being passionate about things, but now everything feels flat and meaningless. Symptom 6, irritability and explosive anger. Small inconveniences trigger disproportionate rage. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and you're furious for hours. A family member asks an innocent question, and you snap at them. This isn't about having a bad temper. It's about a nervous system that's chronically overwhelmed. Your anger often surprises even you. You might feel guilty after exploding at someone who didn't deserve it, but you can't seem to control these reactions. The rage feels bigger than the situation that triggered it because it's not really about that situation at all. This irritability pushes people away, right when you need support most. Relationships become strained because others don't understand why you react so strongly to minor stresses. Symptom 7. Concentration and memory problems. Your brain struggles to focus on anything that isn't related to survival. Reading becomes difficult because your mind wanders to worst-case scenarios. Work suffers because you can't maintain attention on tasks that once felt effortless. Memory becomes unreliable too. You might remember traumatic events in vivid detail, but forget important appointments or conversations. This happens because trauma reorganizes how your brain processes and stores information. These cognitive symptoms often frustrate people the most because they affect daily functioning. You feel like you're losing your mental sharpness, which adds another layer of distress to an already overwhelming situation. Symptom 8. Physical symptoms and chronic pain. PTSD lives in your body, not just your mind. Chronic headaches, muscle tension, digestive issues, and unexplained pain are common. Your body holds on to trauma in ways that medical tests can't always explain. You might experience chest tightness during anxiety, chronic fatigue from hypervigilance, or immune system problems from constant stress. These physical symptoms are real, even when doctors can't find a clear medical cause. Symptom 9. Guilt and self-blame. One of the cruelest aspects of PTSD is how it makes you blame yourself for what happened. Survivor's guilt asks why you lived when others didn't. Self-blame whispers that you could have prevented the trauma if you'd been smarter, stronger, or more careful. This guilt often makes no logical sense, but trauma doesn't follow logic. You replay the event endlessly, searching for moments where you could have changed the outcome. This mental loop keeps you trapped in the past instead of healing in the present. Symptom 10. Relationship difficulties and social isolation. Trauma changes how you connect with others. You might struggle to trust people, feel like no one understands what you've been through, or worry that your symptoms burden the people you love. Intimacy becomes complicated when your body is constantly on alert. You might push people away before they can hurt you, or cling to relationships in unhealthy ways. Social situations feel exhausting because you're managing symptoms while trying to appear normal. Understanding your path forward. Recognizing these symptoms isn't about labeling yourself or accepting a life sentence of suffering. It's about understanding that your reactions make perfect sense, given what you've experienced. Your brain adapted to survive trauma, and now it needs help learning that you're safe. Recovery isn't about forgetting what happened or returning to who you were before. It's about integrating your experience and reclaiming your life. Professional help, whether through therapy, support groups, or medical treatment, can provide tools to manage symptoms and rebuild your sense of safety. The most important thing to remember is that healing is possible. Millions of people have walked this path before you and found their way back to living, not just surviving. Your symptoms are signs of a mind trying to protect you, not evidence that you're broken beyond repair. If this video helped you understand your experience better, please hit that like button and subscribe for more mental health content. Your support helps these videos reach people who desperately need this information. I'm curious, which of these symptoms surprised you the most? Or maybe you experienced something I didn't cover. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. Before you go, make sure to check out my last video about the 8 ways to spot and block a covert narcissist. Understanding toxic relationship patterns can be crucial for anyone healing from trauma, especially if your PTSD stems from emotional abuse or manipulation. Remember, seeking help isn't weakness. It's the bravest thing you can do for yourself and the people who care about you.